live podcast. This is right. Welcome to this new edition of Pop Talk TV. Welcome in this new edition of Talk TV. Now, let me just remind you what the titles here. Classes erupt at pro-Palestine rallies as right police clear camps by force. British students join pro-Palestine movement setting up protest camp. Now, in the US, campus wars, more than 2,000 students arrested in American campuses to stop the protest about the war. So Los Angeles, California is all over the place in America. Police crackdown forces crowd to flee. Right. So let's come back to the debate on hand here. I wanted to talk today. Here we have officially been given two goals for the war in Gaza. I just remind you of what those goals were. Israel has declared two primary. That doesn't mean that they're not secondary goals there. But two primary goals in Gaza Strip to destroy Hamas' ability to govern and launch attack from Gaza and to return the hostage held there by Hamas and other armed groups. Now, just pay attention to this. At no point here, you see the word Rafah written on it. This is purely on Gaza Strip. At no point you see the word Rafah on that statement. So let's dive into this. Here we've got some headline. Gaza will need largest post-war reconstruction effort since 1945, UN says. Turkey president slams West for making Israeli interest criteria for democracy. Yeah, Turkey has decided to seize all economical ties with Israel because of what is going on in Gaza. That's another topic that we're going to explore in another video. So, RTA News, Gaza homes could take 80 years to rebuild. This is one of the hidden goals of the war. So what Israel did, they gave people some fake goals, but they had hidden goals that they did not disclose, among which we have the total destruction of the Gaza Strip, the highest number of killed and injured people, and then number three, make sure that peace does not return, or simply say it in other words, perpetrate the cycle of violence. So CNN News via Yahoo opinion says, unable to win in Gaza, Israel set its sights elsewhere. Now, this is interesting. This is CNN via Yahoo News, okay? And it's an opinion here. So let's see what this opinion says. Let's listen to this.
Netanyahu has repeatedly emphasized that in his speeches. However, RT correspondent Marina Kosareva takes a closer look at that assumption.
The killing of innocent Palestinians continues as the Israeli Defense Forces refuse to rein in their indiscriminate use of force both in Gaza and in the West Bank. Now, some would argue that the IDF have been doing this for decades, yet their tactics are only in focus now because the whole world is watching. Former IDF soldiers have been sounding the alarm for years, calling out their atrocities and deliberate targeting of women and children. It's only now that people seem to be listening.
Israelis talk about the most moral army in the world. They're doing that while ignoring a truism, which is you can't be a moral occupier. Entire areas in the Strip are declared as destruction zones.
Or kill zones.
Or kill zones, yeah. And the moment you have any Palestinian who will enter them, they will be shot. There is a deep disrespect for the lives of innocent civilians working in Gaza, for the lives of aid workers, of journalists, of doctors.
Disrespect is an understatement in this case. What's incredible is that Israel continues to receive both money and weapons from its main ally and supplier, and that's despite the fact that Washington is well aware of Israel's brutal methods.
The US declining to sanction 3 Israeli military units accused of abusing Palestinian civilians, including the one seen in this 2019 video shown in an Israeli court and used to convict 5 soldiers of abusing detainees. Soldiers from that same unit also seen kicking 2 Palestinian men in this video from 2022. It led to an internal IDF investigation and suspensions.
The US government has conducted a process, found that these units have conducted gross violations of human rights. That sounds very serious, but you won't tell us what those violations were, who committed them, and you're going to continue to send weapons to them.
That is a process that is consistent
Opinion. Unable to win in Gaza, Israel set its sights elsewhere. Let's dive into this topic. Huh? Editor's note. Hussein Ibish is a senior resident scholar at the Arab Gulf State Institute in Washington. His most recent book is What's Wrong with the One State Agenda? Why Ending the Occupation and Peace with Israel is still the Palestinian national goal. The view expressed in this commentary are his own. Read more, CNN opinion. So, an airy relative calm has descended in the Middle East, Gaza obviously excluded, since a highly alarming exchange of missile, rocket, and drone attack by Israel and Iran in recent weeks. Fears of an imminent regional war have subsided, with both sides suggesting that for now, at any rate, they believe they have restored deterrence strategically and bolstered national morale enough to offset criticism from hawks and hardliners. For the meanwhile, it appeared that neither Israel nor Iran wants a direct war with each other, and both appear ready to consider the recent exchange of attacks, although not their underlying cause resolved. It certainly helps that no one appears to have been killed in either country, and that was undoubtedly intentional, since both sides have the clear ability to inflict far more destruction and death in each other's territory if that was what they wanted. But that doesn't mean the confrontation is over by any means. To the contrary, just as the October 7 Hamas-led attack on southern Israel from Gaza sparked the tension that ultimately led to the first ever direct Iranian attack against Israel and Israel retaliation against Iran, the struggle between the two powers appears set to move to the next stage and more ominously still, the next level. All eyes on Lebanon. The clock may be ticking for Lebanon with a possible Israeli offensive looming in the coming weeks that will cause massive destruction in both countries and devastation to the Biden administration policy of conflict containment in the Middle East. So, because here, basically what he said, Israel was already threatening and appeared to be preparing for a major offensive against Hezbollah in Lebanon later this spring or in the early summer. According to American administration and intelligence officials, now the recent exchange of direct military attacks with Iran might have sealed Lebanon fates unless Biden, Team Biden can restrain Israel. It's important here to recall how the recent Israeli-Iranian exchange of fire originated. On April 1st, Israel struck an Iranian diplomatic facility in Damascus, killing a number of senior Iranian officials, including Brigadier General Mohammed Reza Zahedi, his Deputy General Haji Rahimi, and perhaps most significantly, Brigadier General Hossein Amirullah, Chief of Staff in Syria and Lebanon for Iran's Expeditionary Quds Force. Right, this one is talking about Israel exporting the war to Lebanon and Iran because they are not reaching their goals in Gaza, incapable of reaching their goals in Gaza. We want to go back. We want to go back to this one here, right? But RTE News. Is it an Irish newspaper? It looks like an Irish news agent. Rebuilding homes in Gaza could drag into the next century if the pace follows the trend of previous conflict, according to a United Nations report. Right, so here people are talking about the destruction in Gaza. What about the destruction in people's hearts? So the pain and the hardship that the Palestinian will be facing to live there in such a devastated land, nobody measures that. So nearly 7 months of Israeli bombardment have caused billions of euros in damage, leaving, and I never really understood this business of let's destroy and then we're gonna come on the peace talk, agree on something, and then rebuild what we just destroyed. Why don't you sit down and talk about it, avoid war, costly war, and avoid killing innocent people? Right. Nearly 7 months of Israeli bombardment have caused billions of euros in damage, leaving many of the crowded strip high-rise concrete building reduced to heaps, with a UN official referring to a moonscape of destruction. Palestinian data show that around 80,000 homes have been destroyed in a conflict triggered by Hamas fighters' deadly attack on southern Israel on 7th of October. Israeli Okay, let's do this. Palestinian data show that around 80,000 yesterday killed. 80,000 homes have been destroyed in a conflict triggered by Hamas fighters' deadly attack on southern Israel on 7th of October. Israeli strikes have killed tens of thousands of Palestinians. The assessment released by the UN Development Program said Gaza needs approximately 80 years to restore all the fully destroyed housing units. However, in a best case scenario in which construction materials are delivered 5 times as fast as in the last crisis in 2021, it could be done by 2040, the report says. Now listen, Israel has control over everything, including material. They don't like material going into Gaza. And yet, what I'm saying to you that Israel want to perpetrate this violence, this is the clear example here. They don't like cement going there because they say that Hamas used cement to build rocket and build other stuff that are harmful to Israel. But they create the need for the cement to be sent there. They create that, they maintain that, they perpetrate that. It could be done by 2040, the report says. The UNDP assessment makes a series of projections of the war socio-economic impact based on the duration of the current conflict. One second. Current conflict, projecting decades of ongoing suffering. Yes. That projecting decades of ongoing suffering, that part is the unspoken reality here. So people talk about the houses, say, oh, the houses are destroyed. But the hardship that the Palestinians are going to have to go through. And then Israel hoping that they will reject Hamas. How can they possibly reject Hamas? You created the need for Hamas to exist. You reinforce the need for Hamas to exist. When you bomb all these houses, you make sure that people are poor. So, unprecedented level of human losses, capital destruction, and the steep rise in property. Well, the steep rise in property in such a short period of time will precipitate a serious development crisis that jeopardize the future of generation to come, said UNDP Administrator Ashim Stener in a statement. In a scenario where the war lasts 9 months, poverty is set to increase from 38.8% of Gaza population at the end of 2023 to 60.7%, dragging a large portion of the middle class below the poverty line, the report said. So, this one is this news, RTE news, has a Reuters accreditation. So it's the suffering of the people there that nobody sees. That has started since the Israeli response to the 7th of October's attack. You know how they responded? You know how they started the response? By cutting the water, the electricity, and the gas. And some of the English politicians, left or right, agreed with such a policy. So guys, I'm here to demonstrate to you that Israel does not seek peace. If they wanted to kill Hamas, they could have run operation where they would target Hamas and kill them. But what they did by destroying the whole Gaza is just a move to make sure that more Hamas will be born out of this misery. More Hamas will rise from these ashes. And then the same people will come back again and complain. This is a well-calculated move from Israel. Destroy the whole strip, make it as uninhabitable as possible, make it as hostile as possible, so that either people don't return, or when they return, they're going to have to live such a hardship that they will turn their back on Hamas? No. Who thinks so? I mean, someone help Israelis, Zionists to understand here. No, because they're not interested in building that place. They're not interested in having Palestinians there. They are interested in removing every single Palestinian from that land. That is the agenda. That is the ultimate goal. So, guys, tell me what you think in the comment section below. This video, as many other videos, has been long. The next one on U.S. campuses chaos and protests is going to come very shortly. The debate continues in the comment section below. Tell us what you think about this total destruction in Gaza. Is that going to help Israel's safety? Is that going to make Israel less is that going to help Israel live in peace at all? I don't think so. Right, I'm done with this one, and I've got to move to the next video, guys. See you in the comment section below. Tell us what you think. What is Israel hoping to achieve peace? Seriously hoping to achieve peace by erasing Gaza to the ground? That's the question. Give us the answer in the comment section below, guys. We'll see you in the next video.